What you doing, Capone? Old timer? We are going to, let's see how much power we're bringing in here. 1,930 watts. It's not 100% because this solar thing's junk. And we need a new one. And we're kind of fighting with the company to get a new one because it's not working properly. It's not actually 100%, but it keeps jumping up to 100%. So you never know where you're at. And it creates all kinds of problems. But anyhow, me and my wife are going to go cut some tamarack trees to create fake beams in our ceiling. So we've furred down the ceiling. We added these strips to the bottom so everything is level. And if you're asking why there's so many floor joists, because my workout equipment will be upstairs, so I wanted the extra strength. So my Smith machine legs will be there and there, so it'll straddle that one section or whatever. But I didn't need to fur down all of them, just every other where the joist would normally be. But anyway, we have all the wood cut and painted, most of it, for a white 1x8 wood ceiling. And then underneath that, we're gonna put fake beams. Well, they're not fake, they're real, but they're not actually serving a purpose other than looks. So I don't know exactly the grid pattern I'm going to be doing yet. It's kind of complicated, but anyway, I want to cut down 7 trees today, tamaracks, for these fake beams, and I will mill them into 4x4s for some of the beams, and I'm thinking 8x8 or 6x6 for the rest of them. So the trees we want to cut, we have 100 acres of swamp on our land, of like tamarack, black spruce swamp. And it's right here is what you see. And the trees that I have marked, like I marked them like 3 years ago, are probably 400 yards that way. So we have to drive down the north side of our pond, wrap around, and then go in the woods probably 100, 150 yards. And cut the trees down, pull them out. So my goal today is to get hopefully like 7 nice trees down and get them to the pond. And depending on how that goes and what time we have left, I might try to cut them to lengths that I would need to mill, so 15 feet or less, and then put them on some type of a sled and possibly get the 4-wheeler on the pond. I think the ice is still good, and then drag them over here would be the ultimate, but I might have to do that tomorrow. But anyway, we got like 75 acres of swamp here, and it's those nice tamaracks that, if you've been watching the channel, we use all the time for our projects. They're naturally rot resistant, strong trees. You can barely get a nail in them, and once the nail's in there, you can't get them out. So it's like almost like oak. But that's what we're going to do. We got the 4-wheeler all loaded up. Good shit. Here we go. This is our swamp. It's really, I mean, it's a forest, but those are all tamarack and anything with needles. Most stuff with needles. Well, there's white pine too, scattered, but there's black spruce in there. So they're like little telephone poles. So we got to find the ones that are big enough to get as 6 by 6 or 8 by 8. That's the goal. And now all these I cut down, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. Here, just to let in all that's light, because we planted some apple trees right over here. And as you can see, driving through here, it's been growing up. So we got to get a better trail through here and clear that out too on both sides of the pond. But this used to be a food plot. I don't even know if I'm going to keep planting it as a food plot. I might just leave it like it is, because I know some deer bed in here and they travel through here, and it's just thick cover, and it hasn't produced very well as far as a food plot goes. So, or I could plant maybe fruit trees in here too, possibility, because it gets a lot of light. More fruit trees, I should say. But anyway, we'll get started here. We'll cut these down, and we got to get them out with the winch. It's probably going to take multiple times with the winch backing it up to drag the trees all the way out here. So we'll see how this goes.
Not the best optimal walking in the woods in Detroit.
See all the deer tracks. You seem to be using this area quite a bit. I've never hunted in this swamp, but maybe someday I should actually set up a tree stand. You know, when the snow's not on the ground, it's kind of wet, but you can get in here with knee-high boots or rubber boots. But anyway, a long time ago, I marked these trees. There's one marked there. We got one right here. And it was long enough ago that the ribbon hasn't broke yet. Actually, there's quite a few marked right here. So this is the spot where we want to cut. One there, and 2 here. But this is exactly what I'm looking for right there. Nice straight. Probably get 3 different beams out of this one tree. And that's a good foot diameter, maybe 14 inches. So this might be one of the big beams, because I want to make probably 3 sizes of beams. But right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where my wife is, there's a couple more. This is the area that we'll start. We'll just concentrate on this area. Originally, I was going to use these for a log cabin, which in the future, I probably will still do when I get bored someday. I want to make like a little log cabin in the woods. I want to make a sod roof. You know, somewhere where you can go. And when you have a disagreement or something with your wife. All right, hon. We could knock these down and drag them straight through there. So, I don't know how to do this the best way to make it the most efficient. We got a group of trees here, so maybe we'll all go that way. Point them that way, so the butts will point toward the pond and we'll pull them out. So I guess just continue to cutting. The other thing was I could cut this one this way, cut it in the middle and pull it out, but then I'm worried that I'm going to cut the wrong length. But I think they all have to be less than 16 feet. My mill only cuts 16 feet. I may get longer, but you have to do a lot of dicking around. So, but I want to keep, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So 15 feet, final answer. So I'll cut them all that way.
Mr. Mark.
That didn't go as planned at all.
We were like almost all the way through to that tree. I mean, there was nothing, and it hasn't even started to go.
Well, I know it didn't. There's no hinge on it left. It's just too up. It was too upright. I think it was like perfectly balanced, but the wedges weren't. I should have wedged more, I guess.
Oh, we're recording. I didn't realize we were. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I don't know. I cut in. That's the right amount. You're supposed to cut in about 1/4. And then my back cut was in line. There's no hinge though. The tree was standing upright, and I mean, I had both my wedges pointed that way, the cut's that way, and it just went this way. And there's not any really weight on the limbs, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. But
At least it didn't get snagged on another
like
tree.
if a tree guy is watching, like somebody actually smart, like employed in the tree service cutting business, not some Joe Schmo. I'm some Joe Schmo. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube do some stupid shit when they're cutting with a chainsaw. I feel like I'm decent. I want to say expert levels 100%. I'm at 70. And most people I see are like at 40. They cut weird back cuts on an angle. Oh, anyway, I don't know what happened there, but we're good. It didn't catch on a tree either. It wasn't like there was a tree close enough to, sometimes it'll hit the tree and twist. But I don't think that happened. So, not quite sure, but
No,
anyway,
no casualties, and you don't have your helmet on.
Yeah, I should have my helmet on, because mostly shit, you know, falling. Well, obviously, dead branches falling in your head. Should have my helmet. Forgot it. Too lazy to go back. Might cost me my life. These skidding cones are super handy when you hit a tree. They don't get clogged up. I mean, the flat end of the log won't hit it and lock up. They ride up and over the snow. That's why we're doing it right now, before the snow melts. Although in this nice spongy mossy stuff, if you had the cone on, it would be fine during any time of year, but it's nice in normal woods. This rides up and over logs and stuff that are on the ground and buried in the snow. So just choker it, pass it through the hole. You gotta choker this toward the end of the log, I think, more.
You think that's enough?
Well, it should be about a foot back. Because the cone, it's going to grab the cone and it's not going to slide up in the cone. It's going to hit on the side like that. And then, so we'll just have to shimmy this over. You unhook it and go back and forth. Sawing action. That should do it. Put the hook the other way. Yeah.
I got it.
Now it's called a bow line, but I'm not sure. Anyway, you can put a lot of pressure on it and always get it undone. So hopefully my plan is to, usually I tie it directly to the tree, but I didn't want to keep screwing around with passing the rope through the cone and retying. But maybe in the end, that's going to be faster. I don't know. But anyway, hopefully I can just hook it and it won't pop off. Which I don't think it will, because the rope is spongy and stuff and it won't pop off. We'll find out.
The
Here, put it on the side here. I'll kick it underneath, and then you can saw it in.
Oh, I think I got it.
So we have a really nice butt end. These are all 16 feet long. 2 of them will make real nice beams. And this one is good for some project in the future as well. The only bad thing is, it'd be better to rip the bark off that one, but bark's not gonna come off too well this time of year. You have to use a draw knife, but it's thinner at the top of the tree too. Wouldn't take that long, huh, honey?
No, we've done plenty with one more log.
Anyway, so that was that whole tree, 3 16-footers. That's really good. So now we have more of an opening, and we can take the next tree. But we're not done yet. We still got to get to the pond, which is just on the other side of the four-wheeler there. So we'll have to get these through that opening. Hopefully the tree on the other side, or the tree on the other side of the four-wheeler was big enough to get these strong enough to winch it to that, and then we'll have to go on the other side of the pond and winch the logs into the pond, or onto the pond this time of year.
And up and over the other side.
Well, no, then I'm just gonna hopefully take the four-wheeler and...
Today's it. Like, tomorrow's gonna be like mid-40s, and then Monday's 50s, almost 60.
We'll table it and we'll see.
Okay. It's like a snake.
Well, fast forward an hour. We cut that tree down. We got all 3 logs, one section closer to the pond, then moved the winch, moved them to this spot, which is right next to the four-wheeler and by the pond. But then we thought, you know, this is taking a while. You know, we're gonna have 3 hours into one tree. So I'm like, let's just get our tractor with the forestry winch over here, because it's kind of sketchy at the end. We have to go over a culvert, which I have to replace. Haven't got to it. But I don't like to go back and forth over the thing, but I think I can get it still over here safely a few more times. But anyway, so our plan was to get it over here, but before we do, we wanted to see if the cable reaches all the way across the pond and can grapple these logs here, so we don't have to use the small drum winch to get them across the pond. So fortunately, I'm actually super surprised, but there's the tractor and the cable reaches all the way over here. I can't remember how many feet are on the cable, but that's a good 60-some yards. Easy 60 yards. So anyway, this is awesome because we can get all these logs in one pull. And then once we get these across, then I can get the tractor over here, and then we're not going to do the drum winch. The drum winch does come in handy. I mean, we can go into these woods and get them to the point to get them to where the tractor can grab, you know. It's a great tool, but if we can get the tractor here, then that's going to save us. It's going to be the third of the time.
I can't finagle this. I tried this to get too close.
I can't.
I can't get a choker around this one.
Come on. Come on.
Hey.
Just go on an angle on the other way and then grab the...
Big different angles. Just killing my knuckles on the fucking bark.
You just want me to do it?
Stop! That's unfortunate. Start dragging the tractor backwards. Not happening. Hole. window of opportunity to do this. Get it done today. One more time. Okay.
I just want to say that I had to fight tooth and nail for all this equipment, and it's all coming.
Had to fight tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail. It was just awful. Actually, who was the first person to start looking at a tractor? Me. We got the Ford.
Sure is handy now.
Sure is.
Sure
we got
is.
lots of stuff.
We got lots of stuff now.
Got all kinds of tools and
Tools.
tools. Not toys, right?
Not toys or tools.
Tools are for work, toys are for playing. Rusted and sharp on that end. Never taken this tractor back on this side of the pond. It's in the summertime. There's no way. I'm gonna be happy he proved me wrong. He said it was too sketchy to do. See how it goes when it comes back in a couple hours when it's warmer. Chickadees are happy. So I'm walking behind Kirk on the tractor and look down all of a sudden. Anyways, what's here on the trail that he just ran over? And it didn't even break. Look at that. Look what I just found. I have to go show him what I found. It's a nice one. Look what I found.
Look at that.
Thank goodness you ran over it this way and not that way.
Oh, I didn't break it.
I know.
You found one last year.
On the other side of the
Last
pond.
year or the year before.
Last year
Maybe
or
the
2
same
years?
one. That's a nice one. I don't remember seeing him. How tall that one is.
Yeah. What the chances, huh?
Good job, honey. You keep finding them. I'll find the other one.
Use that for a handle on a door.
Today to finish up. This is the next day. My wife had to leave, but I gotta pull these out myself, which kind of sucks because it's way faster with two people. You don't have to go back and forth if there's problems. The other person can signal if there's going to be a problem, so you can stop and correct it before you wedge yourself against a tree or make a bigger problem than it needs to. Get the hang of it, and you foresee problems beforehand and where you run the cable and where you should put a snatch block and stuff. But it does take a while. I mean, when I first started, I was walking back and forth, but I've gotten a lot better at it. But anyway, we have 2 or 3 full trees that I have to pull across the pond, and they're about 45 feet long. So I'm going to try to pull all 3 trees at one time. This will probably be the heaviest I've ever tried to pull, but that would save me a bunch of time going back and forth across the pond. So we will see if I can pull those 3 trees at one time across here. That was easy. You could see the tractor didn't even dig in the blade or nothing. I mean, it was nothing for it. And those trees are as wide as the pond is long. I mean, they're not super big, diameter-wise, but there's 3 of them. Yeah, these tractor winches are unbelievable. I mean, it's definitely worth the money, that's for sure. I didn't even have to pull from the bottom, too. I forgot about that. Actually, when I started, I was going to pull from the bottom because it's stronger, lower center of gravity, you know. But anyway, now I'll cut this farthest one up in thirds and re-choker all 3 sections and pull it at once over to here and then drag it out while it's still a little cold out and not so muddy. Get all 3 of these trees out of here. So one of these days I'm going to hit myself with one of these chains in the face. That's going to boil the blood. All right, so there we go. That easy. I just got to do it 2 more times. Logs are a little kitty-wampus there. But, yeah, that'll work. And it won't dig into the trail so bad as I go. It's just the tips are supported. But, yeah, like I say, it's amazing what tractor and this winch can do. And now I'll mill these up for our beams in our house. I don't know if we'll have enough. We have 12 logs. These skinny ones won't be used for the beams. They'll be used for some other project, the tops of the trees. But the butt section and middle section should be good enough for the beams that I need. I'll mill them up hopefully here soon and then start drying them. I don't know how long I'm really gonna keep them or dry them until I use them. I don't think it's not like I'm gonna dry them all the way, because they say, whoever they are, every inch a year to dry. So if you got an 8x8 years, well, I'm not waiting 8 years to put these beams in. I'm gonna probably buy some type of a metal pocket that I attach to the house, and then these beams will sit inside, so the ends won't be will be supported and be covered, meaning that when they shrink and pull away from the sides, it's not like it's going to look weird, because the metal pocket that I buy, if that makes sense, will cover that up, so you won't ever see that. But anyway, I've never done it before, so we'll find out what happens. But this portion of it is almost done, and that was, I don't know, probably end up being about 5 hours worth of work to get them out. Well, thanks for watching. Wait for the next video.